Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from simpleprogrammer.com. And I got a question. This one is sort of a real estate kind of investing question. If you want to check out the playlist on all the real estate kind of investing videos that I do, you can check them out here. But, excuse me, he says here, or actually, you know what? It's not much of a question. It's just a simple question. It just says, hey John, I'm curious to know what your opinion is on investing in REITs. So, what is an REIT, first of all? So, an REIT is basically like a stock that is, it's a company that's been put together that invests in real estate, and you can buy it like you can buy, you know, like a gold commodity, like an index traded fund, like a gold fund. An REIT is essentially that. It's a real estate investment trust, okay? And the idea behind it is that you take this group of properties, let's say like there's REITs that invest in malls, okay? And instead of you owning malls, you invest in this stock, and this stock reflects the value of those investments. Seems like a really good idea. Seems like a plausible idea. They usually pay dividends. REITs you invest in, not necessarily because the price of the stock goes up, but because the dividend that you get on it. And so it seems like a decent way to invest in real estate without having to deal with tenants, without the risks, without any of that stuff. In fact, a lot of people sort of tote REITs, as they say. That's how they convince you. It's like, REIT, you know, you don't have to deal with all this stuff. But is that really true? No, it's not really true, and I'll tell you why. So think about it this way, right? There's no such thing as a free lunch. Everyone tries to get a free lunch in life, and you just can't get a free lunch. I'm not saying that REITs are not a good investment, because they have historically been pretty decent investments, and you can get good returns on the dividends on REITs, but you're not going to get anywhere near the returns that you can get in investing in real estate yourself. Believe me on that, because I've invested in REITs before. I have a bunch of properties. I invest in real estate. I've been doing it since I was 19, and you're not going to get anywhere close to the kind of return that you can get when you're controlling the investment itself. Now, as to why this is, right, there's two reasons I'll give you why. One of them is just you don't even have to know the technical details to know that that this would constitute a free lunch, and there's no such thing. From a principle perspective, the why should be pretty obvious. Is that why do you think that you would get the same kind of return, not having to deal with the headaches, not having to deal with tenants, not having to deal with acquiring a property, not having to deal with any of the risks, right, as you would is if you did that, right? Logically, it doesn't make sense. That would violate the free lunch rule, okay? There's no free lunch. That would violate the free lunch rule. You can't have that kind of a gross arbitrage situation. It just doesn't exist. I'm not saying arbitrage situations don't exist. I'm just saying that they don't exist at that gross and accessible level. That's just ridiculousness, okay? So that should just be a common sense thing. The other reason why, the technical reason why, probably that REITs don't return as much is because, one, the person that's putting together the REITs, that's who's making the money, right? They're going to have a management company, a board, right? They're going to have all of this overhead, and they're not going to give you 100% of the profits. They're going to take a lion's share of the profits, and they're going to give you what's left over. That's the whole point. That's why what was their motivation for forming an REIT? You got to think about it that way. So I know that a lot of them do pass on a lot of the profits that they make from the properties, but it's just not, it's not the same. And you don't have that same level of control that you do. Plus, you're also going to be averaging in, you know, the bad dogs with the good dogs in there, and you're going to have, you know, you're going to have a more of a smoothed out, right? When you own properties yourself, you can get rid of your bad dogs. You can change the way that you manage the property. You can do things to increase the rent. You've got a lot more control, so you can increase the profitability a lot more than you can with an REIT. So, you know, in general, I recommend it. I recommend against investing in REITs, right? I think that if you're going to invest in real estate, just invest in real estate. take the time, learn how to do it right. If you want some help on that, I created a course on how to invest in real estate for software developers specifically. It's just a no bullshit course. It just tells you the basics and tells you how I did it, right? I'm not trying to sell you anything in addition to that. The course is expensive, I'll tell you that, but that's all you need to know to get started, and it cuts through the bullshit. But that is a much better investment than REITs, in my opinion. So, feel free to disagree. If you do, leave a comment below. I'm always curious to hear, if maybe you've become a billionaire from investing in REITs. If you did, then let me know. I don't know anyone who's really made a fortune on REITs, but I do know a ton of people have made a fortune investing in real estate themselves. So there you go. All right, if you like this video, if you want to get more videos like this on real estate, finances, fitness, everything under the sun that is not technical for software developers, because that's what I do at Simple Programmers. I teach you how to become a better you. All right, then click that subscribe button below. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.